All right, guys. Welcome to another edition of Ram at the Fights. My guest today, probably is the biggest guest I have on the show. His name is Jose Shorty Torres. If you don't know him, he's a former two-division champ of Titan FC, Brave FC champ, bantamweight champ. And you guys know who Amir Basi is? Well, I'm gonna tell you, this guy beat him. So most recently, Jose just went to Japan for to fight on Rising 49, and he beat Makoto Shinryu via split decision. So Jose, thank you for joining me. How you doing?
I appreciate it, man. I'm doing well. I'm alive. I'm happy. I'm over the jet lag, so that's the best thing. And I'm back home with my family, so I'm being fat, happy. I'm from Chicago, so I'm enjoying a lot of food, and it's been a good time. It's snowing today, so it's nice to see a little bit of a white snow, and it's dope, man. It's been a really nice time being back home for a little bit before I go get punched in the face again. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Here in Milwaukee is snowing too, man. We're kind of close, so yeah, man. The
Hmm.
weather has. I don't like. I'm not enjoying the weather too much, but
Where are you from?
I'm from Puerto Rico, man.
It's funny because I was literally talking to my Puerto Rican friend earlier. I'm half Puerto Rican, but I was talking to my Puerto Rican friend earlier, Taino from the island, and he was like, "Dude, you're never gonna catch me in that. I'm cool with it for one day, and then I'm out of there. Like I can't do it."
Well, I moved 8 years ago. So far, yeah.
It's well, you went to a very, I mean, it doesn't matter where you go, right? Besides maybe Florida, New York, Milwaukee, Chicago. What else is another big Puerto Rican station? Besides Florida, like everywhere else, there's gonna be snow, so it becomes very different there for everyone.
And then if you don't get snow in Florida, you're gonna get a hurricane or a storm,
Yeah,
and that's not fun either.
it's gonna rain a lot, but overall, man, you're alive, you're well, you're inside, you're warm, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was gonna ask you how you feel about your performance and your victory against Makoto Shinryu.
I'm really critical of my performance. I took it too lightly. I had maybe too much fun in there to where I made it a lot closer than what it should have been. And I remember telling the matchmaker before the fight, they're like, "Yeah, we want exciting fights." I'm like, "Oh, trust me, my fights are exciting because I have a really bad tendency of coming back and making the fight a lot closer than it should be." And then after the fight, I was like, "Dude, what did I tell you? I told you it was gonna be close. My bad." And it was a good time. I'm just happy overall. I got the win. I'm healthy. I'm injury free for the most part. And to say that I got to fight in Saitama Super Arena in Japan. Like you're from Puerto Rico, I'm from a kid from the South Side of Chicago. So for being able to go all the way overseas, represent my people, and win a fight, dude, it's. I mean, I used to watch Pride back in the day, and I'm doing the same
Yeah.
exact thing with the same rules. My opponent tried to soccer kick me in the fight. So it's a really, really cool experience.
Man, speaking about that, when he tried to kick you, you're the timing, man. It's like a block or grab that you did,
Oh, do you
and
see that photo?
yeah,
Dude,
man. And when I saw the picture, I was like, oh, just man, just in time. What timing, man? That was crazy, man.
well,
Give us like a explanation of that moment?
Well, it's crazy because when I got taken down, I'm never worried about getting taken down. I actually wanted that to happen in the first round, but he put me in a hard position on the ropes, and there's a cage, so I can't really stand up the way I want to. I can't use the cage because it's a rope, and if you put your foot on the ropes, you can put it there for a second to push off, but you can't keep it on there. There's always going to be someone on the side moving your feet, so it makes it a lot harder to get up and escape. And for me, I'm like, okay, well. The only way I can turn to get out is turning towards his knees. For people who don't know with Ryzen, you can kick on the floor, I can knee you in the head, you can do all these things. So I'm like, man, I don't want to go that way because there's the knees. Then eventually I was able to get up and get out. And but later on in the fight, there was another position that I was about to escape, and I knew he's like, screw it, I might as well try to kick him before he gets up. And just worse was the worst. I was like, I know this hand has to be here to stand up. Let me just do this just in case, kind of like a Philly show. And I did this, and it so happened that I ended up like catching his foot, and I was like, oh, like after the fight, I see the photo, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is epic. I feel like the Karate Kid or Miss Miyagi, catches a fight
Yeah,
with the
with the
chopsticks, or Goku and Ultra Instinct, where people are like, oh my gosh, he's doing it, he's just flowing. So it. Photos, speak a thousand words, and that one spoke one, and I was like, oh my gosh, one main one, like just it could be luck, could be anything, but I'm happy I got it done.
no man, it was an awesome, and the picture, man, that timing was perfect. Speaking about the rules, did that have an impact during your training camp, going to those facing those set rules there?
The biggest impact, or I guess the two, let's see, the three main things that they have is they score the fight as a whole. They don't do round per round. So even though I lost the first round, I'm like, as long as I beat him up, as long as I make him bloody, then I'm winning the fight. And I knew in the second round I cut him twice. I was like, oh, well, I'm winning the fight so far. So it all depends on damage. So that I wasn't worried about. That goes more towards my style because I like to make the fight more and more difficult as it goes on. I build up. But the soccer kicks and the knees were a little bit different because a lot of my escapes involved me going towards you, kind of forcing a fight, but then I also might take a knee to the head. I might take a soccer kick. You look at, I think one of Demetrius Johnson's first fights in ONE FC, they have the same rule set. And he wasn't used to it. And when he tried to escape, he took a knee to the face and got knocked out. And that's solely because he wasn't expecting it. He had 40 plus fights already in a whole different rule set to add more things. So you forget you're in the moment. But for me, the hardest part was it is a whole different circumstance. You fight in a ring compared to a cage. Cage, dude, I can lean up on, I can try to escape, I can use it to take my opponents down, but on the ropes or on a corner, they don't really allow you to do that, nor can you put your limbs on stuff to help yourself get up or push away. So it becomes a lot more difficult. But overall, I mean, a fight's a fight. So I was happy just to be in it, but it did play an impact because I didn't train in a ring.
Okay.
So by the time I got there, I was like, I'll be fine. It's just a ring. And then when I got taken down, I was like, oh, this is different. Okay, cool. This is damn.
Man, no. Um, and speaking about preparation, man, I since I for the people that follow you knows that you have helped a lot. Ronaldo Rodriguez, Lazy Boy. This time
Mhm.
was his turn to help you to prepare you
Yeah.
to the fight. How was having him in the corner? How key is he on your preparation?
It's different because I'm his coach. And so he goes, you know what, man, all I can do is be a body for him, and just be there for support. And for what Lazy Boy doesn't know is, I've always wanted to be a big brother or father figure. So I told him, I go, I need you a part of my camp, not just to help me as a body and get ready for training, because it's going to help you, but I know if you're there, because I'm your coach, I need to be on point. Because if I mess up in any way with the diet, with the weight cut, if I slack off in any way, he's like, oh, wait, my coach is doing it. I could do that too when I start weight cutting or when I start getting ready for my camp. So I was like, I need you there because I know if you're there, I have to be 100%. Like he weighs just as much as I do. I'm just a little more muscular. So I was like, man, if he can make the weight, I can make the weight. So when he's there and I've seen him during the weight cuts, the struggle, him crying, him happy, him all these things, I need to know and show him that I'm not just telling you what to do, but I can do it too. I need to lead by example and be the big
Yeah.
brother and the father figure. So when I had him there, he's wiping off, the sweat, and I'm just trying to stay happy while I'm in the sauna. And it was a fun experience, to go like, hey man, I'm not just helping you, but now you get to pay it back and help me. Plus, he's so popular now that more than likely the UFC is only right now gonna have them in Mexico and in probably Las Vegas and somewhere in the US. But more than likely, those are the only two places the UFC right now is gonna take them. So I was like, dude, come on, you're a kid from Veracruz. Like, let's go to Japan. Let's have some fun. And he's oh my gosh, I hate him. I love him, I hate him. But he's so popular, even just walking, people are like, it's Lazy Boy. Ah, podemos tomar una foto. It's like, dude, people know him in Japan. So I'm really happy for him mentally. Again, being from Veracruz, a small neighborhood, he's just like, Man, people in Japan know me. Different cultures. Spaniard people were coming up to him saying hello, so it was a really, really cool experience for him, myself, and just he's so much fun. Like, I mean, he has such a big mouth. He's always smiling. He's like, ah, yeah, and he just had a good time and he was good energy, and I'm glad he was able to go, because it was just an extra push for me too.
No, yeah, I can see the whole team had a good chemistry. You guys were laughing, enjoying all the time, man, and I can see that help a lot during a fight camp and during fight day too, man. That's
It's a good thing because for me, every fighter is different. Some fighters when they go in there, some fighters just enjoy the process. Some people need to get punched in the face to wake up. Me, I like to have fun. And I mean, going out there, like we're just having a great time, we're laughing, we're doing whatever. I have a photo I haven't posted yet, but it's me like ready, in the corner, kind of semi looking serious like this, and Lazy Boy's in the back, like, having a good time. And it's just like we might as well have fun. And especially in this crazy sport, and our coach Miguel or Mike, he after the fight, he's like, dude, both of you guys are gonna give me a heart attack because Lazy Boy's last fight was dropped and then came back and won by a very close unanimous decision. And me, I won by a very close split decision. So he goes, dude, I hate both you guys because you both start off losing and then come back and do this. And me and Lazy Boy are just laughing in the background. So we're a family. We all came up together, and I leave in 3 weeks to Mexico City to help Lazy Boy for his fight, March 29th. So I'm like, all right,
oh.
man, it's your turn. Come on. You fought in the biggest arena so far in the United States, the Sphere, or the biggest event. I
Hmm.
fought in the biggest event in Japan. The Saitama Super Arena is like their Madison Square Garden. So it's like, dude, we're doing it. All right, Miguel, you gotta corner Lazy Boy for his next fight, which is Mexico City. So another big arena that we're gonna go, help him for. So we're just going back and forth, and I'm hoping right after Lazy's fight, I have another fight in April. So I'm hoping, so we'll see how things play out.
Yeah, man. Hopefully play out good, man. And man, I love that. I love to see the whole team enjoying, like in every fighter, in any brand, any organization, UFC, PFL. When I see that, like that gave me also like joy. Even if I know the guys, I'm like,
Mhm.
man, that they're having a good time, and that's great, man. I was gonna ask you. How was the atmosphere then, the Saitama Super Arena, man? Because that's an iconic arena. And besides that, man, your entrance was like, uh, probably like WWE type, like music.
Yeah.
How did that feel? How did you feel the atmosphere there?
Man, it's so a few things. Like when we got there were already people like waiting at the hotel for us to give both Lazy Boy and I gifts. Lazy and I, we love, like Dragon Ball Z and different types of
Yeah.
anime. And we get there and somebody gives us like a Vegeta and like a cooler, like action figures from Dragon Ball Z. And we're like, oh, this is awesome. And they're like, oh, they got the Saimas, like, thank you very much. And it's everyone's super respectful there. And for people who don't know, when you watch Ryzen, it's in the Ring or Pride back in the day too. It's very quiet. Like Japan itself as a whole is very respectful, and they're a respectful country towards people's crafts. And when you fight, there's no noise. You hear nothing whatsoever. And then so compared to like the UFC, people are doing the wave in the back,
Yeah.
people are just whistling, saying whatever. So in Mexico City, they have fights in the crowd while fights are happening, like it's very different. In Japan, you hear nothing. You can hear a pin drop. But then
Oh.
when something happens, like I remember it's almost like kind of like a street fight when your friends are watching. Because I remember punching the guy and all you hear is oh, because everyone it's kind of like when you watch Conan O'Brien or like the Tonight Show where they say a joke and the sign comes up that says applause and
Yeah,
everyone's
recording
like
voices like
yeah, it's pretty much that. Like you see a punch land or a takedown, then you hear everyone oh, and then it's quiet again, and then you're like that's kind of cool. So it encourages you to like do something else. And then when you hit them again, you're like, oh, this is cool. You get it's like, your mom telling you you did a good job after something, you're like, yeah, so it really is a cool thing. And then right after, like I'm not super popular in the US, but I felt a superstar in Japan. Like everyone wants to shake your hand, everyone's like reaching out while you're walking through the aisle. It felt like a WWE match where I didn't know how the walkout was gonna be, you know? So they're like, oh yeah, just stand up there and wait until you go. And they had us send in our music 2 weeks before. I didn't know why, but I guess it was because they wanted to create some type of like walkout, like a WWE walkout, like the images and all that stuff to relate it to your song. And I walked out to a Japanese-based song, and then out of nowhere, the stage or the big monitor in front is going up, and I'm like, oh dude, this is awesome, you know, and the smoke, and I'm like, just don't fall, don't mess it up, you know. So it really was a super cool time. Like, and then the arena's so big, there's like 4 different levels, and then you even see like the bleacher seats, if you want to say, or the nosebleed seats, and all the way at the top, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a packed house, this is awesome, you know. So it was a good time, man.
Man, yeah, I seen those scenes from the crowd. I mean, I'm back. I said that back in the day, the Fridays. Now watching Rising, the crowd there is that look amazing. I mean, the whole arena, to see all the people, man. I was gonna ask you too about the Dragon Ball Z inspiration, man. When I saw the banner, when you post the banner preview the fight, I saw that that you know you don't see that anymore like in the biggest organizations now, and that was a thing back in the day that they put their banner. When I saw the Dragon Ball Z inspired, then your hair like Ultra Instincts, I thought, damn man, hopefully they why they stop doing that. Well, what does it like when you were growing up? Like Dragon Ball Z was an inspiration to you, and that have like also an inspiration to get you into fighting too.
Yeah, man, you know, I mean, the inspiration for fighting was a little different, but Dragon Ball Z was that first anime in the States that got popular, and it made the rest of the anime like, oh, there's other shows. And Dragon Ball Z was such a big thing for me. Like, we all play fought when we were kids. We all tried to turn Super Saiyan or, you know, do Kamehamehas and all these different things. So the show was awesome. And then as you started to grow up and started to train and fighting, you learned more and more fighters really liked Dragon Ball Z. They all wanted to, again, turn Super Saiyan into all these things, be like Goku or Vegeta or whoever. And I'm like, man, this is awesome. And then as I got older into being an adult, you know, still watching it as the show continues since the 80s, which is ridiculous. But one of the characters died as his hair goes purple. I'm like, man, that's really cool. My dad's gang colors growing up were purple and black.
Oh,
So I grew up with the color purple, you know, my whole life. And I like the new character, you know, or his transformations. I'm like, man, I'm not bald yet. I'm 30 years old. It hasn't gone, so I might as well use it before I lose it. And so I dyed my hair, and it's so far it's been a year and a half of dyeing it purple. And I wish I would have done it earlier because now I'm more recognizable. It's like a publicity type of thing. And now every time people see purple, they're like, "Oh, Shorty, Ultra Ego Shorty, or Ultra Shorty." They start, you know, creating names. Then I went to Japan. Everyone's like, "Dude, you're like a Super Saiyan. Are you doing this, doing that?" I was like, "Yeah, that's awesome," you know. So it becomes a cool thing. But for me, the reason why I started fighting was because my dad wasn't the best role model growing up. He either, you know, played with us fighting or we had to really defend ourselves against them. So for me, I had to learn how to fight. And then I had all the energy. So my mom's like, let's take you to martial arts and see how it goes. You watch all these shows, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, let's get you in martial arts. And I just started picking it up. And Dragon Ball Z was that inspiration that I grew up with that, you know, helped motivate me to have fun and just keep on trying to be a good person like I saw on the show.
oh man, no, that was I mean the whole Dragon Ball Z thing,
Yeah.
then the hair, the clothes, everything, man.
Yeah, dude,
That was super
it's
awesome.
so much fun. And Lazy is the one that created like the walkout outfit. You know, he has a purple and black walkout outfit with Godzilla in the back, and I was just like, "Oh, dude, this is awesome!" So Lazy really hooked it up, and it was just cool that we all got to have a really good time in Japan. To where people are messaging me now that are Japanese and like, "Dude, we would love to have you back. We hope to have you back. Please be part of Ryzen." And so we'll see where the world takes us next.
Yeah, speaking of being back on Rising, I see I saw you make a official call out to a big name there in Rising. It's Mr. Koji Horiguchi.
Yeah,
He
KOG.
was a former teammate of yours, but you respectfully call him out. Is that a fight that you would like to do this year?
Yeah, man. For me, I know the Grand Prix because they want to have a flyweight Grand Prix, and I would love to be a part of it, given I'm still signed with another promotion that allowed me to do this fight. But we'll see, because I know my promotion wants to do a flyweight Grand Prix. Ryzen wants to do a flyweight Grand Prix. I just want to fight, but it would be fun to fight in Japan again because there's a chance of fighting Kyoji or Horiguchi. In this fight, you look at, and because you're Puerto Rican, you look at Felix Trinidad. Like he fought the best of the best.
Hmm.
He never shied away from, scary people. Even when he did lose, like, man, he lost to this guy. And who wanted to get in there, with that person in the first place? So for me, I want to be like that. If I lose, at least I lost to some of the best. I want to fight against named people that others respect. And Kyoji, again, I respect him. I love the guy. I used to train with him. But in this business, especially MMA is such a small world. Eventually, if you guys are very good, you are going to fight each other. That's just how the world is. And sadly, in our sport, and again, it's just a sport, we so happen to punch each other in the face. So everyone takes it very, very personal, but it shouldn't be that way. It's business. Mike Tyson has a quote, the same interview he had when he's like, "Oh, I broke my back, it's spinal." Before that, he said, "Yeah, I had to fight my friend." He called me and said, hey man, I'm going through some money problems and I really need to fight to get some money. Can you help me out? And he goes, yeah, let's fight. I wouldn't be a friend if I didn't take the fight. Because if we don't fight, we don't grow in our livelihood, in our business, we don't make more money, we don't grow in our legacies. This is just a business. And for me, I don't take it personal, so I want to fight Kyoji, and this is out of respect. If I call you out, I know you're good. That means I respect you. If I'm not calling people out that I believe I can beat. I'm calling people out that are going to help build my name more, and hopefully I help build their name as well. So he'd be a fun fight. Plus, he's one of the best in Japan. He's honestly one of the best in the world, and I know how good he is because I've trained with him. So for me, it would be a very motivational fight. Again, I love Goku and Dragon Ball Z, and it's not that he's a good person. He just wants to fight the best. And it so happens a lot of the best guys are evil, but not saying Kyoji's evil, but I just want to be able to fight some of the best because that motivates me so much more, especially when I'm in training. If I'm going to fight someone that I don't believe is good, I could take
Yeah.
today off. So this is a scary fight in a very good way, in a motivational way. So it'd be a lot of fun
So you're still under contract under Brave
for
FC, right?
Brave. hmm
So the you're aiming for a April or May return, and is that fight's gonna be in Brave FC?
So I want to fight April or May. It all depends. We're still talking to Mohammed Shahid, the president of Brave, and then we're trying to talk to the matchmaker in, Ryzen and just see where it plays out. I got lucky, because most promotions don't really send their people to different promotions, but I know Brave did it for like a publicity stunt for me to, gain more popularity and get more followers and put more hype under my name, but we'll see what happens next because Brave also has a really good flyweight contender in Mohammed Mokaev. So maybe one day I fight Mohammed, and he's like a little brother to me. I train with him all the time. He'd be fun. And again, it's just business. I don't take it personal. But his goal is to make it back to the UFC, so I don't know if he'll want to take that risk to fight me. And then Ryzen has so many new and fun, entertaining fighters that it would just be a legacy defining thing for me. Plus, the Saitama Arena is always a dope place to fight at.
Yeah.
So to go the second time, I already have plans to design art for possibly Power Rangers, for the next one, because Power Rangers were technically from Japan as well.
Yeah.
So me, yeah, I grew up with Power Rangers as well, so I want to do an homage to that in Japan, and so we'll figure things out. But if it's Brave, then it's Brave. If it's Rising, it's Rising. I just need to make money and keep on fighting and stay active. I'm hoping April or May.
Yeah, we hopefully see you back soon in action, man. I was gonna ask you, what did you enjoy the most after your fight in Japan?
Dude, it's so crazy. So like the food, I mean, the people, the atmosphere, anime for sure, but the food is my thing. Like I want to travel to so many different places and just try different things. And this is what blew my mind. I'm not even a fan of sushi. Like sushi to me is one of those foods that I can live without. Like if it's around, awesome. If it's not, okay, it doesn't break me. And the first place we went to, especially when I was cutting weight, they're like, "Hey, let's have sushi. It's clean. We'll give you a little bit of carbs, and we'll get you, pushing forward." That sushi changed my life. And this was like a average, spot that was open late, so it wasn't like a reserve spot. It wasn't special. But man, the food was like, this is just average sushi to them. The sticky rice was amazing. It was soft, it was clean, it was poofy, it was sticky. The fish was super fresh. Like it was one of those things. I don't know if you ever seen Ratatouille, but at the end
Yeah.
of the movie, like the evil critic has Ratatouille's food, and then he like remembers his childhood and his mother's cooking. Like that's kind of what I had. I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Like everything Japan does about food is phenomenal. And I don't know if you've been to Chicago, and I'm kind of a jackass when it comes to this, but I've been places where I'm like, dude, Chicago has better food. She's like, I'm that guy that goes to Mexico and says Chicago has better tacos than Mexico. Like
Oh
I'm that,
wow.
yeah, I'm that type of jackass. So like I'll go to places I'm like, dude, this is, whatever. But with Japan, Japan has better sushi. Japan has better ramen. Like I was bowing my head to Japan respectfully. But one thing that people don't know, and it 100% was the best thing, was fried chicken. Japan has the best fried chicken in the world that I've
Oh
ever
wow.
tried. This is 7-Eleven fried chicken, their convenience stores, Lawson, Family Mart. KFC, for people who don't know, was actually started in Japan
Oh.
and then was brought to the US after when it became successful. And that's how it became a franchise. So in Japan, like for Christmas, instead of having cake or making a turkey or doing whatever, they order KFC because that's how
Oh
popular
wow.
fried chicken is. Like it's about a 3 to 4 hour wait just to get Kentucky Fried Chicken at Christmas. So dude, their chicken was, I don't know if it was because they used dark meat or how they cook it, but it was juicy, it was perfectly crispy, it was amazing. It was the best thing ever.
And I bet it was like felt more natural, like
Yeah,
without
oh,
all
for
the
sure.
stuff all the shit they put in the stuff, on
Dude,
our food now.
everything they put here, like I had McDonald's once over there. I was like, I feel kind of good compared to having McDonald's here. I'm like, oh, dude, I gotta relax, or I gotta use the restroom, or I gotta take the rest of the day off because I just don't feel the same.
Oh man, well, Jose, I really appreciate you for doing the show. Thank you for your time. And man, for me has been one. This is one of the best interviews I have ever done, man. Really appreciate you. Can you tell the people where they can follow you on social media?
Yeah, well, Papa, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And man, for people who want to follow me, it's Jose Shorty Torres on Instagram. I will be selling more merch coming soon through the Millions app, so hopefully I get that all together soon. But man, it's been a crazy journey. Just to say again, a kid from the south side of Chicago, my dad from Orocovi, Puerto Rico, and my mom from Cuernavaca, Mexico. It's a cool journey to say I'm the little shorty from Chicago, being able to travel the world and do all these crazy things and have fun. So it's 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 a cool thing. Plus, for mental health, if people do want to follow me, you look at my stories every weekday. I share a mental health post on multiple different topics, whether they're good, they're bad, motivational, or sad. Hopefully, it helps people, and hopefully, they can push through, or at least get a different perspective on certain things in life, and know that they're not alone. So I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. And lastly, I do want to say, without anyone's support, I wouldn't be where I am. So that's why I always do say, we can, we will, together we are Team Shorty. So I appreciate it, brother. Thanks so much, Papa.
Thank you. Have a good day, Chori.